Alright, hello collective. Before I start this reading, I just want to explain to everybody that I am a reader that ultimately lives in sovereignty. And my dog over here is hovering over me. But anyways, and when I say sovereignty, I mean sovereignty. I went from I've been working on myself. I really have. I went from indifference to complete sovereignty. And I guess when I do get my downloads and stuff, I say it out of a place of pure sovereignty. Because it's not that I'm insensitive, it's just I don't choose to react to things in such a way that other people react. If that makes any sense. I'm not overly sensitive, no. I just choose to pick my battles, I guess you could say. So, and when I do get my downloads, I see them from a place of complete sovereignty. And I think that everybody would benefit and there'd be less chaos if more people were sovereign. And I do recommend Carl Jung's teachings because his teachings are the best. And if you have any kind of spiritual gifts, then you could tap in because I believe that I don't know if all readers are empaths, but if you're empathic, I feel that you're kind of on a different path. And I am an empath. And when you level up with your spirituality and you're an empath, you're on a whole other level. It's emotional. You can have emotional weaponry because really nothing else bothers you because mine started with betrayal. As we all know, I broke up with my person of 10 years and my nervous system had to adjust to that climate for protection. And I guess now I make these little tapes and all that just so maybe later I could look on my younger self and see how far I came in life. But I look upon that betrayal as a blessing because I would not have sovereignty today if I didn't have my betrayal. I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that I was cheated on. I'm glad that there was a third party. I am excited that there's a potential love child because that means that's, I guess, that much longer that I don't have to worry about talking to him. And if I never speak to him again, that's okay with me. I feel that it's just better this way because I getting to know myself and doing my little activities and having quiet time to read and being able to go in total sovereignty and having control over my own mind. And I do listen to Machiavelli stuff. He says, to get powerful in your own mind, you must sit with yourself. And to sit with oneself, you must sit with your own self and find out what's really important. Are you really going to let somebody just tear you down, make you a prisoner in your own mind? No, hell no. Why would you? Because it's just ugly. That kind of energy is so ugly. And possessiveness, what is it? It's just somebody that doesn't really have any kind of self-respect within themselves. And they just go and purposely go and hurt others. And these are the people that we say we love. I mean, no. I say no to that because no is not good. I mean, all this possessiveness and stuff, I mean, come on, you got one life to live. You know, when you go through all the stressful stuff, you have so much time on this earth for your conscious self. And I want to just, I guess, go on that topic. You have so much time for your conscious self. Because once we go in that other realm of existence, we may not remember everything from this lifetime. And these are true facts, folks. Are you really, really going to waste your time on somebody that thinks less of you? I mean, let that sink in your mind. It's, I mean, it's whatever. If they, let's say, if you know, just like my person, he came up in here and told me he cheated on me, and it was the second time in our relationship. Yes, it was. The first time I forgave him, he said it would never happen again. It did. So he literally went out of his way to cheat on me again. Instead of being upset about it, I was listening to Carl Jung a lot. I had my suspicions. I said I would mourn him. And I did mourn him. And I will tell you the secret of how I did it, folks. As you're healing, because I was mourning my dad at the time, you pretend that they died. And you went to a funeral. And you just imagine yourself, you just project yourself at that person's funeral. And how they're laid out, all of your friends at that funeral. And you sit there and you cry. You cry for that version of the person that walked out on you. You cry for it. You let those tears cry because that was the version that you loved that got changed and left. And that version may never come back again. So that's what you do. You mourn them just like they died, because in a sense, that person did die. And, you know, that's emotional weaponry. So I just want the best for you guys. I really do. And I want you guys to appreciate the time you have and make good use of your time. You got better use of your time than sitting around waiting for somebody that may or may not come. They may or may not come around again. And then when they do, it's going to be for some drama. Oh, I wanted sex. Mine, he's a sex addict. There was only, I guess, so long before he was going to have sex again. You know, because he even told me he wanted variety. I thought things would change. I was wrong. So he found somebody that he liked the variety. So I had to mourn him. I had to pretend he died, and I had to literally kill that piece that I loved of him out of me. And like I said, it took about a month, and then I went through my ascension. And I figured since I got so far with discernment and deference and trying to work my way to sovereignty, I decided to ascend and break generational pain and ascend all of my ancestors at the same time, because if I went that far to be able to mourn him like he died, and you know what you do? You take a little box. And I did it with my dad, because there was, and I put this little box, it was a little plastic box, and I put rest in peace, because I'm waiting on my dad's ashes. I am. Because I have an a-hole, my stepsister's husband's an a-hole, and said I died. And he has my dad's ashes, and he's withholding money from were fighting over, I'm the sole heir of his estate, and he wanted to take all my dad's money. So I had to find a way to cope with my dad and say goodbye. So I took this little box and I put rest in peace and I put his name and I pretended I went to my dad's funeral. And that's how I got over my dad's death, by myself. And it was the best idea in the world. And then when he came home one day and told me he truly loved me and told me he cheated on me, this is the second time. I can't do this again. He said, I know. So we parted ways. And I just literally pretended that he was dead. And that person that I loved in our relationship, in a sense, was dead. So I put him right under my dad. I put his name on a piece of paper and I put rest in peace. And he is dead to me in a lot of ways. So he literally isn't dead. He's still alive. I mean, they're together. I think they have a baby now. I'm not sure. I hope they do. I mean, if they do, he did want a baby. And we were thinking about having a child and stuff, but it didn't go through. But, these things, they happen for a reason. And I don't question the universe. So, but I do wish them the best of luck. I mean, maybe they're married now. I don't know. But I blocked everybody because when people die, what do? You bury the past. Because I listen to smart people on YouTube, not gossip people. But anyways, the thing is the past is always the past. You never can get it back. And the circumstances and feelings of people you had in the past in that moment are always up to change. Always. It is what it is. And sometimes mourning our past is what you have to do because it's a part of you. It's a part of what created you to your full development to sovereignty. If it wasn't for his cheating and betrayal, I wouldn't be sovereign today. I wouldn't have mourned his death, and I wouldn't be powerfully in my mind like I am. It was thankful to the Jezebel and him that gave me the best clarity that I could ever have in my entire life. I thank God for the betrayal. I do. And the thing is people should kind of, I guess, embrace it. Embrace the pain, because pain gives you self-growth. And if you don't have self-growth in your life, what do you have? I mean, this is food for thought. And I know I speak in a sovereign point of view, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sit there and waste my time that I got left. I mean, they do what they do. I do what I do. I don't care. I really don't. To me, I went to his funeral. He's dead to me. I mean, for someone to resurrect from the dead would be almost upright miracle. But a lot of people, I've noticed when I do all my spiritual research and everything, they say we all are really dead. And some people say that this is an alternate reality. They're calling for that. A lot of people. They're saying that we're in a multi-universe. Some people say we're in a black hole. It's a lot of interesting stuff, and we're living in a world of scientific stuff that's just coming out, and it's freaking amazing. I mean, I say seize the day. Why not? Seize the day, embrace what's around you, enjoy the things around you, enjoy nature, connect with self. I mean, at the end of the day, do they really care about you? If somebody could walk out on you, find a whole other person, hurt your feelings, put you in self healing, and leave you alone and abandoned, and then tell you that they didn't mean it, they had this and that, and they're acting like a narcissist. And some people walk out on people 30 years in a relationship. I thank God it was only 11. And I wasn't married to him. I thank God about that. Because if I was married, oh my God, I would have lost my damn mind. Thank God I never married him. I think it was a perfect storm where my ancestors just let it happen because it was for the better good. I embrace the secrecies of the universe, and the universe wanted it to happen, wanted the betrayal to come out. The universe itself wanted it. So I embrace it. I know, and I'm glad. I mean, if they got married, I would send them a wedding present because they gave me the best gift ever, sovereignty. And I'm just so excited to be in sovereignty and indifference. Oh my God. It's a personal freedom, folks, that gives you just such clarity. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It was better than the relationship being in sovereignty. It really was. Yeah, love is great, but to have healthy love is way better. Way better. So, if somebody wants to take, I guess what I'm getting with this, the broken version of your person, say, thank you. I will mourn them as they just say, and your person all fragmented and broken walks out the door. Say, okay, I'll mourn you. Put their name in a box and put rest in peace, and start projecting and manifesting, and to put your own mind at rest. Mourn that version. And if you got to in your head pretend you went to a funeral, do it. Because it helped me get through my dad's death. So, and I figured, why not apply it to every part of my life? And you'll behold, it was such a beautiful thing. This sovereignty is a blessing from God. It really is. You can let go of anything in sovereignty. That's why I love Carl Jung so much, because, and it was like in 1912, I didn't know I was actually listening to a Carl Jung video, but I got on here. Love that man. Oh my God, I wish he was alive. He met Freud. I guess he studied with him, and they had patients together. How does that not be like the main event of the year? Watching somebody that associated with Sigmund Freud. I mean, they rock. They're psychology's best people ever. Oh my God. They're like the rock stars of psychology. Oh my God, are they? But yeah, I'm going to be getting some of their books. I am. I'm totally getting some of the books that he was recommending. You have to be in sovereignty for some of these levels. I did start doing a couple, since indifference. Yeah, that is a big goal, that I graduated indifference. But man, now they got to sovereignty. Woohoo! I mean, nothing bothers you. You just be going and you just be peeling on through like, okay, you got a baby? All right. I wish you the best of luck. And you walk right past somebody and it wouldn't bother you. And this could be your baby's daddy. Once you get the sovereignty, you could shut that shit down. And I think that's like the best gift you could give yourself. So I do strongly suggest you guys listen to Carla Young and actually practice on your path to sovereignty. And you know what? I know everybody talks about Machiavelli and his teachings. He teaches that all those Machiavelli teachings, they teach you to be sovereign. It makes you go to indifference even that much quicker. I mean, I love the Machiavelli shit. I'd be vibing with it. Oh my God, do I vibe with it. Love Machiavelli. I mean, don't let people in your personal space and then disrespect you. Don't do it. Because at the end of the day, who's going to suffer? Who? You. Are they? No. They're the ones that left you and said they found someone better. So, why are you trying to cater to that? Let them fall in their own trap. Who gives a damn? People say soul ties, soul contracts. What are you? Are you something that's bought from a store, or are you a person? Just saying. Food for thought, my friends. Food for thought. You don't go buy a contract from a store and then sit there and all this. No. You're with me or you're not with me. And be about your business. That's it. I mean, you gotta have these. I had no boundaries months ago. And I never thought about how the personal freedom I have now. And it truly is a gift. It really, truly is. And it took me a long time. I even mourned my own self. I put my own self in the box. I mourn my old self. And I cried for my old self. I did. I cried for my old self because I knew, I've had an ear infection and now it's healing. I put some hemp oil in it. So it's itchy. But I put my own self in that box too. And I said that RIP to my old self. And I pretended I was at a damn funeral. And everything in that box was the old versions and fragmented parts of myself. And I had a real nice funeral. And I'm a little bit goth. I had black roses at my funeral. Oh, yes. There were black roses. But when I envisioned my own funeral, because in a sense you are dying. Yes, you are. You went and another version of you gave birth to another version of you. You absolutely did. Because when you awake from something like that, you are not the same person at all. Not at all. And I will say this, and everybody will say you changed. My partner did before, he went in his journey with his new partner. He said, you changed. I said, yes, I did. I was proud of my changes. Very proud of my changes because sovereignty rocks. It's the best thing that ever happened to me being sovereign. The best. I am enjoying sovereignty better than the emotional manipulation. I enjoy intellectual pursuits. I enjoy listening to great minds. I enjoy learning about the universe, where I came from, and the things. And in Carl Jung, he was very good at, even though the technology wasn't like it is today, he had a lot of, he was sovereign himself and did these kind of things. And I say, instead of sitting there letting everybody manipulate your brain and all that, feed it. Feed it with knowledge. Feed it with good knowledge. Not all the crap people give you. You gonna put up with that, collective? No. I don't put up with that bullshit. And I do say this because I wanted to give you a little pep talk from my Machiavelli self, because this is about a domestic that I was alerted about. There was some children around, but I mean, I think it could be different for everybody, because there was a lot of domestics that kind of happened today. So take it as it resonates, please. It's not for everybody, but I had to do a video. I took Chong out and I did have fun today. I spent the day with my dog. We were just walking around. It's finally nice weather. All right, we got the Six of Pentacles here. And this is an upright. And anyways, this is giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, assistance, support, and success. All right. There was 4 cases today of domestic. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. And that's everyone that is vibing in this field. If you're in that energy field where you have acceptance and you could give a lot of charity and you're a giving person and things like that, which would like to say the victim and the true victim, you would know. Instead of listening to say, oh, it's not me. No, because I have a 9 of swords for the people that actually did the domestic. So this would be for the person that the domestic was done to. And I do want to totally get on that. And I got little oracle cards over here. So, and then this is just the situations that was around all the situational stuff. I got other cards laid out for that. All right, around the Six of Pentacles, there was a Page of Swords on the upright. And in this Page of Swords, it was a message that was delivered, which in itself is not bad. A message was delivered. Okay. All right, but we got the Hierophant. All right, we got the Hierophant. This is my dark deck. The Hierophant's not the horrible thing. It's a wise person. A wise person gave the thing. And then we have... Here we go. Then we got the Moon in reverse. Here. In this situation, the news that got delivered was very unclear, and it was disillusional. And it led to conflict. That's what I was getting. And I don't have to put a million cards out to get to the meaning of what this was about. I just know. But there was, in this situation, Chong the dog family. I'm going to start calling you Chong the dog family. All right, Chong the dog family. In this situation, there was literally an ex-lover that got arrested, and he ended up getting arrested because he started hitting on his wife. So, and it was terrible. And I do want to say that it was drug induced. And it wasn't just weed, folks. It wasn't just weed. This drug induced addiction was pretty bad. I want to say I got the download. It was like close to like a heroin or something like that. I don't know all the drugs out there. I don't. The only drug I do is weed, and honestly, I haven't even smoked that in a long time. Ever since I went sovereign, I don't even smoke weed no more. I did that just, because I was trying to heal and all that, but that's about it. That's the only reason. But I'm over it now, and I don't even barely buy it or anything now. So, but yeah, and the police were called, and this nice lady. They didn't. I don't. They did have two small children. One was a baby. I don't know. It's just in my mind's eye. I just seen and I heard a baby. A crying baby was in the back. I'm not sure if it was with them. They had the baby together, or if it was a family baby. I'm not even totally sure. I'm not. But there was charges were filed, and what kind of just snuck into everything was there was another family member. It was their mom or their sister, something of like that sort. Someone that's always been around them. Let's just put it that way. And they were standing up for him, and it was crazy. And then she became the victim. Or she became the monster and he was the victim, even though he was on all those drugs and ended up putting his hands on her. And I did have that whole thing about sovereignty because these kind of situations are really hard to overcome. They are. And I feel for you guys. So I kind of felt compulsive. I felt the need to come. I did. And then I went through some of my clothes and I put this nice black sweater on. I love wearing black. Anyways, this next one, Nine of Swords. All right. This is depression, nightmares, guilt, regret, remorse, negative thoughts, and making mountains out of molehills. All right, there's this energy field. And we all know, well, this could be either the victim or the whatever, but these are anybody that's in the dark night of the soul. Okay? If you're not in a dark night of the soul, this one is not for you. But we got the Knight of Pentacles. All right, the Knight of Pentacles just represents somebody that, to me, that usually stands on their own 2 feet, but made a lot of foolish decisions, I guess we could say. But usually they stand there on 2 feet, but sometimes they could be naive, this Knight of Pentacles. And then we got Nine of Wands. Alright, this Nine of Wands to me just represents somebody wanting like a alternate reality and being able to kind of harness that and go and then still have their cake and eat it too. And I did pick up a masculine energy, but this could be a feminine that kind of is, I hate to say it, with narcissist tendencies. But yeah, this is just, they wanted their cake and eat it too. And that was it. And they caused all kinds of emotional manipulation and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. All right, and then we got the Sun in reverse. Oh, is this the Sun or the Devil? Okay, this is the Sun in reverse. I like the Gothic stuff. And to me, this is just happiness, that was overturned. That's what comes to my head, and that's what my ancestors are telling me. And the thing is, there was not a domestic here. No, there was not. This is more of emotional abuse, I want to say. A lot of just emotional manipulation and things like that. And I do want to touch on the subject of emotional abuse because I've been through that with. I was married till the way before this. I'm 51, so when I was married, we had a very good a lot of years until he started drinking a lot. And he didn't put his hands on me. Maybe once when our fights escalated, but he went to emotional manipulation. And it cuts deeper. It's like surgical. And I would have rather had him hit me than have the emotional manipulation. I guess what hit me so hard with this energy was the emotional manipulation at its core. Because that in itself can sting. And emotional manipulation it can last a lifetime, and it takes a lot to get through. I had to go see a psychiatrist for emotional manipulation for when I was married. And I say this because I did, and I got better in my head. So I kind of know how to work my way through chaos because we were married 12 years. And I dealt with years of this, so emotional manipulation, I kind of see the signs. I see these red flags from everywhere, and I just went, okay, it's time to put you in the box and put rest in peace to you too. I just started I made a list of everybody I was cutting out of my life because I was not going through what I did when I had to go through the separation with my husband, which I think was the biggest thing of my life. I mean, this last breakup was nothing compared to how my separation with my husband went. We stayed together in the same apartment for an entire year, folks. And I'm talking about he wanted to do the dirty. I'm on the couch. I had to sit there, sleep with my clothes on, and say, "No, not today, Satan." And I slept 4 hours a day, mind you. And I had a really nice laptop, and he knew it. And he broke it on purpose because I would not give him sex. And then the one time we did have sex, I didn't even feel into it. And he said he felt like he just said thought he was having sex with a doll. So he stopped having sex with me. And I had to have sex with him once in that year because he threatened to sit there and get nasty and fight in front of our 10-year-old child. So, and I didn't want it. I did it, but for the sake of my youngest, but I didn't want it. So I was not going down that road for somebody that wasn't even the father of my children. And I've been through worse, folks. Been through worse. So, yes, emotional manipulation cuts deeper. And I tell you that story because emotional manipulation cuts deeper than it's just somebody hitting you. If you're going through that, you got to think of a plan B. You got to get the F out. I did. I thought of a plan B. I got out. I saved up money. I got the hell out. And that was it. Not today, Satan walked out. And I, even through this breakout, my younger son said, "Oh, Dad went to AA. He went to anger management. Why don't you get back together with him?" I looked at Zach. I was like, "No, we kind of already went through this. I do love your dad, and I did. I got to the point where I realized I do love him, but there's always a but. That part and version of him that I loved died with the manipulation and just it was a different kind of betrayal. He didn't cheat on me, but it was one of those betrayals that lingered and never ended, I guess. And it was the emotional manipulation. I want to say he was almost like a narcissist. I might as well say I'm pretty sure he was a narcissist, but I didn't know back then. They didn't label these things, so I was just at the police station at times and things like that. So if you're in these kind of situations and you see these red flags, get out, cut them loose. Goodbye, Satan, and move on with your destiny. That's what I say, but get your plan B going and kind of know your emotional strategy. If you know, don't let them know that you're about to leave. Just start gathering things up, act like you're cleaning, things like that, and then start putting things aside. And pack up a suitcase. Start calling family members, and then when they go to work or whatever, just get your shit and leave. Take the kids, whatever you got to do. And goodbye, Satan. Don't even leave him a note. A note. Just leave and block his ass. Don't talk to him or nothing, and just have the family members talk to him, and then that's it. You don't have to put yourself in that situation. If it's, I mean, obviously he had to see his kids. Well, my oldest was already in the Navy, so that wasn't an issue. I wish he wasn't, and he said he wished he wasn't at that time, but I just picked somebody that would be there for the transfer, and that's it. And it was done. So, anyways, I think I went over all this. Yeah, the 9 of Wands, and then the Sun, how was that. But yeah, I give you that example because I've been through it. And I got through it with elegance and dignity. Because why let them get the best of you? We're not those kind of people. You got to remember that. Don't be that kind of person. Don't let somebody get over on you. Don't. It's their funeral. So, anyways, this other field I got, and this, like, all this stuff with all these people going crazy today. The High Priestess. All right. Subconscious mind, sensual, spirituality, thirst for knowledge, explore inwardly. If you vibe with this energy field, this one's for you. I only need 3 cards to do my readings, folks. All right, we got right here 7 of Wands. All right, to me, I'm just getting the whole situation here. This started with 7 people, and they kind of teamed up, and they were lurking, and they planned something against a high priestess, which is just somebody that's very nurturing, motherly, somebody of a good nature. So, and then we got the 8 of Cups in reverse. All right. And to me, I know I'm not going to go through the meaning of cards. I'm just going to put what the cards, what story the cards tell me, because that's how I know the situation. All right, we got the Knight of Cups. He's going down the water. All right, and it's in reverse. Alright, we got that. And this just says usually they're running away. They were running towards something. These people were running towards a destination with ill intentions to come near somebody, which would be the high priestess. An ill intent. That's what I'm getting. And then we got a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I got this in reverse. All right, and this Queen of Pentacles was involved, which I want to say it was over. Usually has a Queen of Pentacles has to deal with somebody of a high honor, but it's in reverse, so they're not in high honor. So this is a false Queen of Pentacles, and she plotted revenge against High Priestess. So they were probably fighting. Women always fight over men, or love, or whatever. If you're a same sex couple, I was picking up like two females fighting over another female, or just take it how it resonates. So, and if you're involved this kind of situation, people are fighting, I'll use the situation that just happened. He walked out for the same reason, and everybody was ganging up against me and talking crap and just saying a bunch of ugly things. It just got to the point where I had to stop talking to everybody, because I guess at that point you have to make the choice. Is it worth your peace to deal with that drama? If they weren't forced at gunpoint to be in a situation and that's what they chose, you kind of just got to accept what is given to you. And it was done out of free will. So if you're in that situation where Queen of Pentacles is fighting for your man, they probably already slept with them. So just let it go and let God, and just don't speak to him again. Block everybody, block their mom, block everyone, and just honor your dignity and self-respect and start healing. And if you want, you could become sovereign, but you don't have to. Just get yourself out of the situation and don't add to the drama. It's just not worth it, because no one's worth your peace. So I got that for that situation in these kind of fields. Alright, now we got the Hierophant and Ribas. And this is, if you're in the field of this, if you vibe with this, it might be your reading. If you don't, it probably maybe one of the others is. This just talks about personal beliefs, challenging the status quo, because it's in reverse. And then it's society, weakness, understanding, and overkindness. Alright, this is, to me, if you feel like, if you're in charge of a lot of things and all that, but sometimes you could be a pushover and people like to lean on you, this is the energy for you. The Hierophant in the right is someone in charge. This is just somebody that they have good intentions of a Hierophant, but they kind of flip it with the opposite. So, and I got my 3 cards on this situation. All right, we got the Knight of Spears. All right, and then we have Ace of Swords in the Tower. All right, let's go with this. These 2 events led to the Tower, so. All right, and this Knight of Spears, I feel there was a situation in my downloads, and there was several that kind of differ from each other. This talks about secrets, and having the Hierophant in reverse like that, it was secrets that this Hierophant person, you could be male or female, that was hidden and hidden intentions. And this Knight of the Spheres is a lot about hidden intentions of ill will and lies and deceit and things like that. And I felt it was a lot over, some was just over money, some was over money and love, and some of it was just a lot of family disputes. Take it as it resonates. But it was just a lot of dirty secrets. And a lot of people had a lot of false narratives in all these situations. So, all right, then we got the Ace of Swords right here. Ace of Swords is information. But with all these, the way that these lies and deceit, that was what the truths ever delivered, the deviated truths. And the thing is, all these deviated truths, no one really knew what the truth was because the truth got so fragmented it took on a life of its own. And as it took on life in its own, everybody had their own narrative, and just a lot of people got hurt. Even people's relationships got hurt, like with their parents, lovers, and it was very sad. And it led to the tower. And tarot, we're always talking about a tower. A tower is just a moment where you have so much dark matter energy that comes in one place, it explodes like an atomic bomb. You know, you have light matter, gray matter, light matter. I mean, scientifically, science proves the existence of God. Science proves tarot card energy. Science proves everything, folks. But this tower came because so many lies hit and no one knew what to believe, so everybody just started fighting themselves among all these false narratives and fragmented truths. And if you're in this field, the thing is, if you're able to get out of the situation or away from the situation, do so. Do not engage in the gossip. Don't. If people come up to you with all their false narratives, just say, I don't know enough about the situation. I don't engage in gossip. And you won't get sucked in. And a lot of people go, oh, yeah, she said that. I'm going to believe this person. I'm going to believe that person. Just don't do it. It's just not worth it because in the end, the truth always comes out. Because the truth, eventually somebody smart's going to come by. Somebody absolutely is going to come smart eventually. And that's it. And they're going to be asking a lot of questions. It's always going to be people in authority that are sovereign. And they're going to be like, what the hell is going on here? And they'll be like, okay, you're saying this. And it's always going to be someone like the Machiavelli sovereign thinking. And no one's going to be able to cut through this person. And they're going to put everyone in their place. And they're going to scatter like roaches when a bomb goes off. And that's how these situations dissipate. So, anyways, I did put these out because a lot of you guys are feeling this way. And I just kind of put this. There is these different situations that are brewing. And you'll know who you are. We got the Five of Wands. This is just a group of people arguing among themselves. There's a group of people arguing among themselves, fighting over false narratives. And when I mean fighting, it's just these people are at odds with each other. And it's stupid. And they're fighting over, they don't even know what they're fighting over. When I had my download, I don't even understand what they're fighting over. They're fighting over some relationship that's already been over with somebody already what has been in healing and silence, and these people just keep fighting, and there's really nothing left to fight but themselves. So I guess to those, and then we got the Seven of Cups right here. The Seven of Cups, to me, these people, they're just trying to make sense of the situation in the Seven of Cups. They really are. They're trying to just piece things together in this situation, because you got over here, if you think, see here, you got this here. Reminds me of the Hierophant right there. Then you got some crown chakras, you got the snake. There's just a lot of things going, and they're trying to balance truth. That I did get. So there's truth balancers out there in some crazy situation going on. And then we got the King of Wands. He's sitting on his throne among all this chaos with somebody with all these cups of different truths. And they're trying to balance and find out what's going on. And then we got the Ten of Wands. Somebody's just gathering up stuff. You see how he's gathering up all these wands? Someone's gathering up a shit ton of wands, and he's trying to clear the wreckage. That's it. And I feel this is a person maybe trying to protect their false truth, because they're scared. They're scared. They're just taking all that. You got this guy examining cups, this guy moving around things. Take it as it resonates. And then we got the Hermit in reverse. Somebody was trying to be in hermit mode through this whole crazy situation over here. He got pulled out of it, and they said, "Hell no! If we're gonna be fighting, you're gonna be right here." MF, read between the lines. And they just started cussing at him, and that was it. He got involved in all this controversy, and this person was left in the Nine of Swords. You see how the person's crying in their bed. This person lost a lot towards the end. They weren't even allowed to be in hermit mode. They lost somebody they loved very much. They lost a lot of finances. They lost stability. They lost their entire life. They lost every bit of happiness they'll ever have, and I don't know if they're ever going to recover. Ever. I think this is going to be a lifelong lesson. If they do recover, it's going to be not like it would have been if they didn't get involved in this whole Nine of Swords situation. But all these people had a lot of fun with it. Let's just put it that way. These people just doing a lot. So if you're in this situation, don't even worry about about anything about if you did do something wrong and you're hiding stuff and you feel like you're supposed to clean up what you left behind. Why don't you clean up what you created where you're at? Because what you left behind is in the past, and it's probably never coming back. And the people that you left in the past, that's going to take a long time to get that kind of trust back. Because that situation was extreme there. But anyways, I got some oracle cards for you guys. This is a full moon. And this talks about surrendering to the divine. Just look at the moon and give your worries to the moon. Say, you know what, I'm not, just whatever you have, be like, you know what, if you're worried about something at work and all that, say, whatever you pray to. Just say, I give all my sorrows. Pray under the moonlight and say, I give all my sorrows to the moon, and tell all your sorrows. Tell your truth to the moon and say, I give it all to you. And it'll go to whatever God you resonate with. And then we got a new moon in Cancer for some people here. And this talks about you and your loved ones are safe in whatever situation you're in. Hopefully, this person's loved ones are safe, because I think this one's the worst out of all of you. I don't even know who's in this situation, and this is a whole lot going on. I don't know. The police might come here. Who knows? Maybe they need bail money. Who knows? I don't know. But for some of you, I got a full moon in Cancer. And talks about personal issues that you guys have. They're going to come to a resolution. Even though you think they're not, they are. And then a gibbous moon. This is you're close to achieving goals. You guys might be out there maybe doing stuff like I am. Maybe doing some social media. Maybe going to school. Maybe going to be a nurse. I work with nurses, and a lot of them are going to school to be an RN. This is the card. If you got this reading, keep going. If you're in nursing school, keep it going. Because you get in this kind of situation with this person has in, maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea to be an RN. Just saying. Just saying. All right, then we got a full moon in Cancer for somebody. This talks about the end of a tough cycle approaching. Somebody out there is in a tough cycle in their life. It's closing out soon. All right. Here's other suggestions from the universe. We got the dragonfly, and this is joy. And this is just, I don't know if you come across a dragonfly or look up a dragonfly if you vibe with it, but bring joy in your life. Try to look to things that bring you joy for full clarity of your mind. To get good clarity, and clear out all that clutter and try to enjoy the joy in life and forget about the past and make joy with the future. That's what my ancestors are saying. And then we got energy. Energize yourself, guys. Go under the moon. God, like Ozzy, howl at the moon. R.I.P. Ozzy. I love Ozzy Osbourne. He's so incredible. Love him. Anyways, yeah. Howl at the moon, guys. Get under that moon. Do something, have fun. Recharge your energy. Don't let people take your energy. Take those energy vampires, say. Not today, Satan. Get away from me. I'm getting my energy back. And then we got create for some people out there. This is just suggestions the universe has to help you clear these chakras out. Create, collaborate, maybe draw something. I love drawing. I did not draw today because I was outside with my dog, but create something. Maybe create a project at home. Maybe start a home project. Just start creating things. Get your mind off all the stagnation of your day. Do something fun. Forget about all these nuisances in your life and all your problems, and just say, you know what? I'm going to let go and let God. Whatever's meant to stay is going to stay. Whatever is meant to leave is going to leave. Peace out. Not today, Satan, and create something. There you go. I do this every day. All right. I think I got this. Is this beyond? Okay, this is this okay, I don't know what this is. I think it's a snake or something. Alright, adaptation. Adapt to your environment if you cannot fully leave it. Maybe just try to isolate, the universe is saying, and find a way to adapt and find a plan B. And you see how that you really can't tell what this is? It just blend in. Be like camouflage. That's what they're telling me. And then I got my witch oracle cards. Love witch oracle cards. Okay, Broom and Autumn came out, so I'm gonna read these to you guys. I feel like some of you guys need it. Need it! Alright, we got the Broom card reminds you to clear away any outdated and stale energy in your life. What have we went through all these readings? A lot of stale, stagnant energy with these energy vampires. That is leaving you feeling stuck. You guys, I know there's people. I know all these readings people had to feel stuck. Honestly, is it time to brush away musty emotions and patterns? Probably. Especially if you're this person crying with Nine of Swords. Maybe he needs to do. I just feel like it's a masculine energy over there. It could be a female also. If females could have masculine energy. Yeah, if you're in this kind of situation, you need several brooms. And with this mob of 5 of Wands, they all need a broom. They need to go in a broom sale. All right, then on practical level, a broom clears away physical crumbs, dirt, and dust, which allows you a tidy space, so energy flows more smoothly. Clear out your space. Just tell everybody leave my little happy vibe space alone. I'm not dealing with it. Not today, Satan. Just tell them not today, Satan, and set up your spot. And then say, without any debris in your way, your mind and magic will function more efficiently. There you go. And then it says, with intention, use the broom to stir up stale energy. Sweep away negative or unsupportive energy. And create a space that is ready for your individual needs. You can do this physically with an actual broom and a quick cleansing of your magical space, or mentally by envisioning what doesn't serve you being swept away. Whatever doesn't serve you, get it out of your damn path. I don't care what the hell it is. I don't. If it's people, make a hit list. And I don't mean actual hit list, but make a list of people that you're taking out of your life. If it's your family members temporarily or whatever, cut them out. If you gotta just be by yourself and let everybody fight themselves, do that if you can. But try to make these efforts or you're gonna go crazy. Crazy. And then we got what areas of this is the reflection, folks. And reflection is important. What area of your life needs to be straightened up, dusted off, or refreshed? Just think in your mind, what do I need to get rid of? What kind of things that I'm doing do I need to get rid of? We all got to get rid of something. I got rid of a toxic relationship, personally. I'm not going back either. I enjoy my peace so much. I like being by myself, but that's me. That's what I had to get rid of. It doesn't have to be New Year's Eve to get rid of bad things that really aren't serving your well-being. If a person's not serving your well-being, say, not today, Satan, there's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass. That's what you do. And they might look at you sideways, but you look at them and say, I stutter? Not today, Satan. And they're going to think you're crazy and they're going to leave. They're going to be like, oh my God, she or he or whatever, you collective, they're going to say, you crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm crazy for my peace. Don't, that door's right there. Don't let it hit you in the ass. Give me the keys on your way out if they have a key. And be about your business. This is how you make peace in your life. All right, now let's read. This is what the universe is. Another suggestion is giving you how to solve some of these problems. Autumn is a time to slow down. The high energy of summer's expansions calms and turns to a slower rhythm. There is space for acknowledgement and gratitude as the intense production of the previous season yields a crop. The autumn equinox is a time of balance when the hours of daylight and night are equal. The autumn card reminds you that balance is important, whether it means balancing work with appreciation for the harvest or balancing intake and output of energy. Don't it says don't overtax yourself. Remember to refuel in times of hard work. So don't take away from your energy. Make sure your depleted energy is being brought back, because then your quality of your work's going to go down and you're kind of going to go on a non so productive path. And the reflection here, this is, have you been successful when it comes to balancing your work or personal life? Have you? Is this why I don't think this person that's crying balanced their social life, well, their personal life and work life. He wouldn't be sitting there crying if he did. So let this poor soul be be an example, and let's all pray for this soul because they're going through it. I don't know. I even sense a baby over here somewhere. Or there was a pregnancy or something. There's a baby over here, and I don't even want to go no farther in the reading. It don't surprise me with all these people fighting. There's probably a lot of sexual explicit acts with this going on here. And I don't even want to delve any deeper in that, but wow. We all need to pray for this person. Anyways, if not, how can you strike a better balance? Think about it. Just sit down when you get in your personal space and say, you know what? I need to balance work and my personal life. How can I do it? I mean, I did it today. Sometimes I do so many videos. It's a nice day. I haven't really took Chong on a long walk, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take Chong out for a longer walk. So I didn't draw something today, and I did a video. I like a support video and stuff with me walking Chong like the old days. And we had fun, me and my dog. But I balanced that because, he's my dog and I love him. And he's gotten me through all of this. He really has. You know what? Being left alone with a dog was the best thing that ever happened to me. In my situation, I mean, I wasn't all out abused, and I was left with a dog. I had the best company in the world. So, I mean, I'm not upset. I'm not upset that I was cheated on. Not at all. Rock on. I'm glad. And if they're, I don't know what goes on. I blocked everybody personally because for my personal peace, and I'm okay with it. Do I wish them any ill will? No. I I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope they're okay. Because you wish people ill will, it brings ill attentions back to you folks. So don't do it. It's kind of hard when I know that it's hard in cases like when people are murdered and things like that, which is hard because if people are murdered, they're murdered. But okay, these are here. All right, I don't know why I had these here, but yeah, especially when they're like on the electric chair and all that, and then they're looking at the person that murdered their family member, and that's a hard one. I mean, to try to keep your personal sanity after an event like that, that's rough. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. That's why the courts send anybody that goes through that kind of personal trauma to free therapy. But I'm gonna close up here. I'm starting to put away my cards. It's been great. I want to ring my bell for the person that's in the Nine of Swords, and I really hope you survive the night because your energy looked terrible. And if you do got a love child going on there, which I feel you got a love child, or there was a love child, I mean, I hope you got enough money to support your child because all children should be supported. And I wish you the best life. I do. So, and amen to you. And I am going to go to my personal sacred space and I am going to study some stuff from Carl Jung's studies. And I bid you good day. And tomorrow I will be doing another reading. So I will see you later.